Hello everybody, it's Lena, and in today's video we are building this big rustic family house in the world of Copperdale in The Sims 4. So we are building it on a 30 by 30 lot, and for some reason over the past few years I've built a house that looks somewhat similar to this house, like style wise, on this very lot around this time of the year. So it's kind of become a tradition of mine to do that, and last year I did this build, and the year before that I did this build, and I feel like they don't look, identical by any means, but they definitely have a similar style and color scheme to them, and that has just sort of become an annual tradition of mine ever since we got the high school years expansion pack, which is the pack that this world Copperdale came with. So I can't back down now. This is officially a tradition of mine, and I'm hopefully gonna keep doing it for the next few years. I feel like that's just fun now, and it just kind of makes sense for me because around this time of year I just feel a little bit dark and gloomy, so it just fits well to do a sort of rustic, darkish, browny sort of house in The Sims 4 on this lot, which is also sort of dark in a way. Yeah, it just makes sense, okay? So that's just what I'm doing today. We are doing the third annual brown rustic house on the 30 by 30 lot in Copperdale on the LacyLena YouTube channel. Fun. But this house is quite big. It has 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, and with the way I decorated it, you can fit 7 Sims into this house. So on the first floor we've got a little sort of ambiguous bedroom, I would say, because I don't really know who lives in that bedroom. It has a double bed, but I don't think it's the parents' bedroom because I made a more a parentsy kind of bedroom on the second story. But the one on the ground floor could be for the grandparents, or it could be a guest bedroom, but I think it's a little bit too personalized to be a guest bedroom. At least it would be for me, just because I put a lot of knickknacks and just personal-ish pictures on the walls. So I think that if I were to play in this game, I would lean towards putting grandparents or something like that in that bedroom. But obviously you can do whatever you want with it, and then you can fit 2 Sims in that bedroom because there's a double bed. But on the second floor we've got the parents' bedroom, which also fits 2 Sims, and there's a little nursery as well. It's got room for 1 infant, and I used the sort of new-ish nursery kit, what's it called, the storybook nursery kit something that we got a few months ago by now, and I love that kit so much. I've been using it in probably, no, I was about to say all, but definitely most of my builds ever since we got it. I just think it's adorable. I really like playing with it and building some fun stuff with it. I really enjoy it. So I used that kit quite a bit in that bedroom, and then there's also a bedroom for a child, one Sim, yeah, and one for a teenager-ish, maybe a preteen, something like that. Just someone who seems to be older than the other child, I assume. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, 7 Sims in total, so you can definitely fit a pretty big family in here. Anyway, I don't think I really have much else to say about this build, except it took me an absurdly long time to do. I can see on my computer that the first recording that I did from this house when I started it was done on the 11th of November, and the day that I finished it was on the 21st of November. So it took me 10 days to do this house, which is just so abnormal for me because this is not that big of a house. It's a pretty regular-ish size for me, and normally, the way my life was in the past, this house would probably take me around 3 days to do, certainly not 10, but I just don't really have as much time to record and build and do anything anymore because I'm just spending a lot of time doing my real life stuff. I used to be able to spend at least a couple of hours doing something YouTube or Sims related every day, but nowadays a lot of the time I don't really go on my PC the entire day because on the days that I'm working, I wake up in the morning and then I started doing my schoolwork somewhat right away, and I do that until between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, and then I shut down my laptop, which is not the computer that I'm doing Sim stuff on, and then I get ready to go to work, where my shift starts at around 3 or at 3 normally, and then I work until 10 and I get home around 10:30, so obviously the entire day is gone by that point, and I need to get up early because I have schoolwork and possibly work to do the next day. And then I don't really have any time. And when I get home from work, I'm typically like either spending some time with my mom and I'm watching a show with her while I eat my dinner, or I'm sitting by myself and eating dinner and just watching stuff on my iPad because my mom is too tired to watch something with me. Yeah. And that's that day. That's like a few times a week for me, and the other days I just spend time doing school stuff, and then I do my other things that I have to do. And also, as I talked about in my last video, I recently started doing some like non-paid work, which is also taking up a lot of time and energy for me. So anyway, I'm a busy gal these days. I don't really have much time to do sim stuff anymore, unfortunately, which has been really, really tough for me to deal with because so over the past few months, my life has like absolutely blown up. Like I was just sitting here reflecting on it a couple of days ago or something, and I realized that within the past around 3 months, my life has just changed completely. Like I am having a hard time thinking of one thing that has not changed, and it's been tough to deal with because I'm scared and overwhelmed, and like all of these things are good, and I have made all of these changes myself. Like nothing has been forced upon me, and I know that it's for like a good reason, and I feel good about doing it, but also it's just kind of scary to go away from the way my life used to be and to go away from stuff that I used to spend a lot of time on. And I'm having a hard time dealing with the fact that I've been neglecting my channel quite a bit because I used to spend so much time on it, and I love doing it, and it's just kind of not super fun to come to terms with. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm just kind of like weirded out by the fact that this house took me 10 days to do because, again, back in the day, it would not take me nearly as long. Although I kind of think that the subconscious reason why I decided to build this exact house and do something that is a bit of a tradition of mine at this point is because I was just seeking the comfort in doing something familiar to what I used to do in the past, and something that I've done around this time of year a few years before, you know? I think I was just kind of like seeking out the comfort in doing that because I am a very comfort-seeking person. So I just really wanted that, and this build did also feel quite nostalgic and comforting and cozy to me for that reason. And also, in my video that I posted last year of that one build, I remember talking about rewatching Gilmore Girls because that's just a thing I tend to do around this time of year as well. Gilmore Girls is like such a autumnal sort of show, even though it's not like autumn all the time in the show, but the show just has those autumnal vibes even when it's like spring and summer and winter in the show. Yeah, I can't really explain it. You just have to experience it for yourself to understand, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, I was rewatching it last year around this time, and I haven't like seen the video ever since I posted it because I don't really have that much of an interest in rewatching my old videos. It's not really that fun for me, but I remember talking about that, and I just want to let you all know that I am in fact also rewatching the show right now as we're talking, and I also find a lot of comfort in that because even though my life has changed very dramatically over the past just like few months, and also just so much compared to last year around this time, I'm still me. I still have a lot of things that are mine and things that I do, and that's very comforting to me. So just rewatching the same shows over and over again, that's a thing I enjoy, so I'm doing that, okay? I really like it. Also, if you guys hear some like banging sounds in the background of this video, it's because my dad is currently hanging out the Christmas lights outside, so you might hear a little bit of that once in a while. I'm not quite sure if the mic is picking up of it on it, but I can hear it right now, and that's happening, okay? But yeah, I'm really excited for the Christmas lights to go up. I feel like it's a little late to put them up because I usually prefer for them to go up in the beginning-ish of November, and it's currently the 24th of November, and I just kind of see them as more so winter lights and just lights that you hang up in the colder and darker months to bring a little bit of joy to this time of year, because it's so sad and boring and dark and miserable, and I just need my Christmas lights. So I like for them to be out all the time basically, like from November till February preferably. I really like that, but I feel like most people around me tend to take them down around like the middle of January, which I do think is sad, but it's okay. And I love December and I love how cozy it is, so I am quite excited for that, and I'm happy that we're finally getting our Christmas lights up. But we just went out and bought some today, me and my dad, because we didn't have any, which is why we had not put them up until now, because we needed to find the time to go purchase them. So we did that today and that's quite exciting. But yeah, I am so happy that it's about to be Christmas, even though I'm also really stressed, and my classes are ending very soon. I've got 3 exams within the next few weeks, and I'm very stressed about that and nervous, and I feel like it just happened so quickly. Like, classes started around 3 months ago. That's, you know, also one of those things that have been very stressful for me, and now they're already ending. It just happened so fast. I'm not ready, but it's gonna be okay. Maybe, hopefully. But I'm gonna do my best to not let myself get too stressed out about it, so I can still enjoy December and enjoy the Christmas time, because this is a very special time to me and it just means a lot to me, so I don't want to spend the entire time feeling stressed about school stuff. Like, that's just not really worth it to me. So I'm gonna do my best to not do that, and I have tried to cut back on work because I just do not have the time and energy for that right now. And I'm not gonna go to my shift next week at the like unpaid work thing that I'm doing. I did manage to give that one up, so that is good. That is a little bit of a relief. So I don't have to work for a few days now. That's great. And I can just focus on my exam studying and hopefully having some fun. Maybe, I don't know, probably not, but maybe. Who knows? Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing good, and I hope that life is treating you all right at the moment. Personally, I'm doing like fairly decently right now. I'm just, you know, trying to get through stuff. I feel like I'm sort of in just survival mode at the moment, and I have been for a while, but I'm trying to balance out everything. That's just easier said than done, you know? But I must admit, I am kind of doubtful that I and that most people will ever feel actually happy, because I feel like for me, whenever I come on here, I say that I'm doing like fairly decently, and then I say, but I'm going through this and that, and I'm feeling this and that way. So there's always a but behind the I'm alright kind of thing, you know? And I feel like whenever you talk to someone about how they're doing, like actually how they're doing, not just like surface level, how are ya, that kind of thing, they're like, yeah, I'm good, but like there's this and that and that and that going on, and that's stressing me out and causing me, you know, whatever negative emotion. And I feel like we as humans are just really bad at being happy, and it kind of makes me doubt that I and others will ever feel truly fulfilled and happy in life. I have a hard time believing that I ever will, because whenever I either, let's say, have overcome a challenge that has been like present in my life for some amount of time, or I achieve something that I've been wanting for a long time, I feel that like sudden burst of relief and whatnot, but then immediately after that, the worrying and the unhappiness and all the stress and everything bad comes back, and I just don't feel happy at all. So I kind of doubt that I will ever come to a point in my life where I can feel truly happy and truly alright. Yeah, I just can't really see a way of me feeling that way. But right now, as I'm young, I'm just trying to like lay down the groundwork for my life to be good in the future. So I'm trying to like work on my education and try to like get a career that will make me feel happy, and try to like surround myself with people that I really like and that I want to be around, that don't make me unhappy, because I think that that'll give me the best foundation and the best like possibility of feeling happy and feeling good in my future when I'm like way ahead in life. I'm talking 30, 40 years from now when I possibly have a family of my own and all that kind of stuff, and possibly, hopefully have a good career that is good for me and everything like that. Like, I'm just trying to lay down the groundwork and trying to do what I can now to set myself up for a good future. I feel like that is my responsibility as a young person, because if I'm not doing that, then what am I doing, you know? So I'm trying to do that, but again, there's that doubt in the back of my mind. So I'm working really, really hard for that, and I'm doing whatever I can to make it happen. But then again, am I ever gonna feel fulfilled? Am I ever gonna feel okay with what my life will be like in the future, even if I achieve everything that I want? I don't know. But my only possibility and my only option is to either like try and go for it all and work as hard as I can to possibly get there one day, or I can just like lay down flat and not do anything, and then I will for sure feel bad right now, and I will for sure feel bad in the future. So by working hard right now and stressing myself out a lot, there's like at least somewhat of a chance that I will feel better in the future. Maybe. That's kind of how I feel about it all. I do believe that it will eventually become a net positive for me, and I will see some form of payouts of it being okay-ish in the future. But on the other hand, there's still that somewhat nihilistic doubt in the back of my head that persists and just keeps telling me that nothing is ever worth it and nothing will ever be good, you know? So I don't really know how to feel. And also, I don't really know why I'm bringing this up today. These are like definitely half-baked thoughts of mine that I hadn't really wrapped up before I started voicing them right here today, because I wasn't planning on saying this. I was just, you know, going with the flow, rambling as one does. So I don't really know what I'm trying to get at. However, I do think that I'm sort of asking if this is something that other people can relate to, or if it's just my ever-present chemical imbalance playing tricks on me in my brain again, because that could very well be it. That might very well be the thing. By the way, apropos of chemical imbalances, I did up my dosage a little bit the other day, or like last week or something, on my antidepressants, yeah. So that's fun, and I definitely needed that because I was just like in a constant state of panic, which is never ever good, and I could not handle it anymore, so I had to go up a little bit. But I feel like that's just typically what I have to do in these darker months. It is really playing tricks on me, this darker weather, and the lack of daylight. It's not good for my brain. I used to, when I was little, I used to just like really refuse the idea of the weather having an impact on my mental health, which is so dumb because obviously it does on everyone, and it certainly does on me as well. And I just need a little bit more help from my good old trusty sertraline in these months to exist and to get up and do anything at all. So I did need to do that, and that's okay. Yeah, that's just how it is for me. I don't really know how to function without my medication. I do find it sort of interesting though that I started taking antidepressants almost 4 years ago by now, and I have no plans of getting off of them anytime soon, because that just isn't a thing that seems to be good for me right now. I hope I will someday, but not right now. And I started taking this medication when I was 17. I'm 21 now. So my entire young adult life so far, I've been taking medication that has been altering my brain chemistry, that has been altering my mind. That is a little bit wild to think about, because I don't really know who I am as an adult without my medication. I have no way of knowing her and who the hell she is, but I know for a fact that it's not someone that I currently want to get to know, because I have, like, not too long ago tried to step back on my medication a little bit, not to go off of it fully, and I have done it in like a very responsible way where I have just tried to step down a little tiny bit at a time, and that was definitely not good for me. That was not pretty. So yeah, again, currently I'm not trying to get off of my medication, but I do want to try to do that in the future at some point, just not right now. But yeah, it is pretty strange to think about the fact that I have been on medication that has been like changing my brain and like what it's like for such a long time. By the way, I do know that a lot of people have super negative opinions of antidepressive medicine, which is totally fine. Like, that is your prerogative fully. I'm not here to try to tell you what to think at all. I'm just here because I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life and what's going on in my brain and whatnot, and that is obviously one of the things. So that is why I'm mentioning it. And also, like, in the past when I've talked about my medicine and whatnot, I have gotten pretty positive feedback on it and gotten comments from people saying that they also take antidepressive medicine and that they're just like happy to hear about other people's experiences with it and just to like get it normalized in some way or another. And I'm not trying to use the word normalized as in like everyone should be taking antidepressant medicine, but also people like me who do and do need it and everything like that. It's okay. You shouldn't feel othered and feel abnormal for taking it. It's okay, right? That's basically why I just wanted to mention that, not because I'm like trying to defend my own usage of it in any way. I just wanted to say that that's why I'm bringing it up. Again, I have no interest in telling anybody how to feel and what to think about that exact topic at all. However, one thing that I have noticed throughout my years of like being on the medicine and just like hearing opinions from other people about it is that a lot of people who have negative opinions on it are typically people who have had a very like regular path through life and have just lived a very like sheltered and nice-ish life. Obviously everyone has their own challenges and whatnot, but they aren't really people that have had, you know, that many difficulties. In my experience, my personal experience, I would like to preface it by saying that. However, that is good. That is like really, really good, and that is the ideal scenario. Like I think that everyone should go through a very nice and fun and good life. That is perfect, right? But of course, not everybody gets to have that, so it's just really, really important to be mindful of the fact that not everyone has gone through the exact same life and the same life experiences as you have had. So, you know, people need different things, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. So while I'm not trying to tell anybody that they're wrong, I would just like to encourage everyone to be a little bit more open-minded and to be kind and to not tell people that they are wrong for taking a medication that you don't necessarily agree with, because that's kind of silly and that is very narrow-minded of people. So yeah, there's that. I'm just really, really grateful for everything that my medication has done for me and the way that it has allowed me to live a life and to get up from what I was going through in my childhood and to sort of work on getting past it in some way or another. Obviously it's not a miracle drug by any means, but it has definitely helped me a lot, so I'm forever grateful for that. And I just wanted to mention that. Again, here's another thing that I was not planning on talking about today, but somehow we ended up here. So that's quite interesting. However, one thing I do want to say is that, and this is kind of annoying, but a few years ago I started seeing a new dentist, and then when I was at my first appointment, he asked me if I was taking any medication, and obviously I told him that I take sertraline, and then he was asking me if I had any like side effects that were related to my mouth, and I was like, no, I don't really think so. And then he said that the reason why he was asking was that a lot of people who take this medication have the side effect of having a very dry mouth, and that's just really not good because apparently, like, based on what he said, that encourages like cavities and a lot of bad stuff in the mouth, so not good. And I think my response to that was just like, oh no, I'm not going through that. That's totally not relevant for me at all because my mouth is just super normal and wet and great. And then last year I went up on the medication again, or like for the first time ever since like going to this new dentist, you know, and I started experiencing like super severe dry mouth, and it was so horrible. And that was like the reason I was super eager to step down a little bit on my medication last spring when the weather was getting better and I was feeling a little bit more okay. And yeah, it was just like really, really rough. Like my mouth was so dry. Throughout the day, it was so much manageable because I could just take a sip of water. But I would like wake up multiple times throughout the night because my mouth was so dry. So I would have to take like a sip of water and like hold the water in my mouth for a few seconds at a time because it was brutal. And now I'm starting to feel that again because I went up on the medication again. So that's quite annoying. But yeah, that's just an annoying side effect. All medications have side effects, I believe, so that's just that. It's okay. I will take it. I don't mind it that much. I can definitely feel that right now, having sat here for quite a while talking, my mouth has gotten really, really dry, although I have taken a few sips of water throughout the entire thing, but it's definitely taking a toll on it. However, I am like somewhat lucky to not really have that many severe side effects, although I don't really know if I have that many of them because I can't really compare it to anything because it's been so long since I've not been on this medication. I don't really remember what it's like. So I don't know, but yeah, that's that. Anyway, let's just end this video now. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please do give it a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're unsubscribed already and you enjoy my content. I would really, really appreciate that. And besides all of that, I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day, and then I cannot wait to see you all in my next video that I will be posting in hopefully not too long. So yeah, bye everybody!